episode 743 of Hard Factor. It is Thursday, August 5th, 2021. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. I'm Will. We got Mark, Pat, Wes, full crew today. We're going to be talking some politics, some Olympics, some Jeopardy, a disaster at a museum. What else?
Woo!
A lot more.
I mean, we're crewed up.
Mm-hmm. Squad. Hashtag squad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And hashtag stories.
What's coming?
Get your ears ready.
What's coming after Squad? Because Squad has jumped the shark, right?
Yeah, I don't know what's next. I feel like Squad's still in though.
Team, get Team out of here. Get Fam out of here. Get Squad out of here.
Something like super futuristic, like a shape, like cubed. Get
what's a pod of space travel?
Yeah,
space
explorers. There you go.
Spaceship.
Yeah,
a dope. I got my dope with me.
Something we never even can think of right now, but it's going to be awesome.
Oh, like a pod. Don't COVID people call it a pod. A pod.
Yeah.
It's my pod.
Like a
you know
pod
what?
of whales.
Like a pod of whales. Like hashtag pod.
I'm gonna try this out.
People.
What do you guys think about this? And I don't really care if you don't like it or
And
not.
we're a podcast,
I've already
yes.
decided I'm going with it. My section. You guys are my section. Where's my section at?
Section's pretty good.
That's good. That's like a stadium shout out.
My
like,
row.
Section 568. You know how we get crazy in the end zone.
Section needs to be like at least like 6-7 plus though. Section's got to be like a good amount of people.
What's a
Where's my
squad?
Uber? Where's my Uber XL at, yo?
Yeah, exactly.
What's a squad?
Squad's probably more than 5 as well.
Say it's 5 to 10.
Yeah,
5
so
to 10,
section is
Well,
comparable.
squad could be 3, anywhere 3 and up. It could be anywhere. 3
You can
and up.
have a smaller squad than section.
You just
Section
can't have a 2-person.
You can't have like a 3-person section. That's
Well,
I
the
mean, no
train's
one's going to the games. That's like a
leaving
high
the
school
station.
game.
So if you want to get on the section train, speak now or forever
Section.
hold your peace.
I think that's great
Pod.
for large groups, but I'm gonna come up. I'm gonna think of brainstorm. I'm gonna noodle it for a 4-person group. I'm gonna noodle on it.
pod. Don't count.
Pod's
out.
good.
All right. Green room. We had another excellent. What the fuck? Get Weird Wednesday, Wet Wild Wednesday on there, 5 p.m. Eastern every Wednesday. Green room. We'll also release it on Sunday so you can hear a little sample. Very fun shows. Very fun.
We spoke it into like fruition, and it kind of turned into like a cum story thing. But next Wednesday we might do all masturbation stories on Green Room. We'll see. Free T-shirt. Best masturbation story.
Gonna get spicy.
I
Pat,
think
you're
that's
gonna
what we
be.
should just go with it. Yeah.
Machine washable.
Yeah.
It's gonna be real mesh short themed next week. All right. Anything else? Ready to go?
Speaking of masturbation, I caught the little guy watching some women's volleyball today, which was a very proud moment for me.
Oh,
He's
nice.
watching a little too hard, huh?
Yeah, I went down and filmed him, and I was like, "What are you watching there?" And he's like, "Volleyball." And then he picked his nose for like 10 seconds.
He was so nervous.
So I couldn't use the video.
Oh, he was nervous.
He knew.
Yeah.
He knew he'd been caught.
He's
Is he a big volleyball fan before the Olympics?
He never really was a big volleyball fan.
No, he
before
Now
wasn't.
he is.
Was
I told him
Yeah.
he needs to check out beach volleyball, and he's like, "Okay."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right next to the screen.
Mhm.
Catch him.
Okay.
Really locked in. All right. Nice. All right. Let's get going. Time for a cup of coffee in the big time.
Yeah, cup of coffee in the big time.
Okay. First up, holidays for August 5th. It's Green Peppers Day.
Okay.
It's also India Pale Ale Beer Day, International Albarino Day, which is a type of white wine, International Traffic Light Day, more on that later, National Oyster Day, National Underwear Day, and Work Like a Dog Day. So
Interesting.
I kind of
Why
like
is
that
Oyster Day in August? Isn't it? Oysters are a cold weather
Yeah.
specialty.
You're right. They're kind of like just
Months
at the
that
very
end in
beginning
R.
of season, right?
Yeah, months that end in R, they say.
Right.
and then,
September
yeah.
would be the earliest.
Yeah,
Well,
really.
I mean, they might as well just call it "fuck like a rabbit" day because that's what oysters make you do.
Right. And I like how it's on Green Peppers Day because you can have your jalapeno with your oyster, especially.
Yeah.
I guess
a
golf
good
oysters
combo.
are summertime all the time.
combo. Good combo.
Have you guys noticed all the IPA hate going on the internet? Like,
Yes.
like, what's the deal with that?
What it is, Wes, this is one of those what goes around comes around. It's like how politics is like a spectrum and it swings back and forth. It's
Yeah.
like IPA got way too fucking trendy and popular for
Agreed.
several years. And then now it's just like coming all back down. And now the IPA bros are just
It
getting
was
killed.
too much love,
Yeah.
and then now it's back to Now it's a little too much hate. It's probably
It
just
really should be in the middle.
it'll balance
I don't
out.
get the hate. Yeah, IPA
I'm-
is delicious.
I'm living proof of it. I was huge, hand up IPA guy,
Oh,
big
okay.
time. You find me at a party. Hey, Pac, what can I get you? You got any IPAs?
Got one of those.
Went down to the shore this past weekend, as you know.
Mhm.
Opened up the fridge, saw my former favorite beer in there,
Dogfish 60-minute.
the Dogfish 60, and
That's
I said,
a good one.
Bought those at the shore.
"Thanks for doing that." From
Yeah.
the past, Mark. Old me.
Oh
says,
yeah,
"Thank you."
Dogfish 60 minutes. Suck,
Well,
yeah.
Mark knows his
New me
pod,
says,
you know,
"Yuck."
knows his
Yeah.
section.
Yeah.
New you says yuck. You didn't drink one.
I mean, no, and it's a great beer
Dogfish 60
still.
minutes.
I couldn't wrap my head around
Wow.
theoretically drinking one.
Listen,
Well.
I think it's that these fucking seltzer people are behind this IPA hate. I think.
Oh, I think you're right.
yeah.
I think you're right, Wes.
Yeah, I know.
It's gross. Don't drink that delicious 6% Dogfish 60-minute IPA.
Oh,
which is
nothing's
delicious.
better than a high gravity six-pack.
Shoots
Yeah.
fresh squeeze is so gross.
Oh
That's
my
a great one,
god,
too.
the
That's a
shoots
great one,
fresh
too.
squeeze.
Did-
Ew.
Did
I'm
we
gonna have
so
IPA
down-
so
on
good.
IPA day.
So good.
Yeah.
Did we figure out how like forever the most booze you can get in like a can was like 14% wine, and then all of a sudden like
Pretty
bam,
much.
mixed liquor drinks in a can or a thing? Did we figure that out? Like, what is that? How did that just happen?
They're still they're still only hitting the same maxes as like the strongest beers in a bottle.
Some
Like-
politicians' wheels were greased, Pat.
I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, well, whatever. It's like Four Locos. Like eventually, I don't know.
It was a malt beverage, though. Will
It all
You know
ebbs
what?
and flows. It
Once
all
a-
ebbs and flows, just
Once
like
a
IPA.
base room of kids ends up, they're all dead in the basement. That's when the fun
Exactly,
ends.
and that's just like IPA, where it gets
We-
too much love. It
We
gets
haven't
back
had a
smack back
basement of
down.
dead seltzer kids yet. So.
Right. We'll just wait on it. It'll
Oh
happen.
yeah, we have.
No, not like a full basement. We've had like one or two, but it's when the entire basement wipes themselves out. That's when it gets out of.
It'll be a dark day too.
Yeah.
It'll be a dark day. But today, August 5th, IPA day. Also today in history, August 5th, in 1100, Henry I, the fourth son of William the Conqueror, was crowned King of England. In 1914, the first electric stoplight, that's stoplight day, was installed in Cleveland. So that's why it's stoplight day. In 1926, Harry Houdini stayed in an underwater coffin for 90 minutes, breaking the former record of 60 minutes.
That's
in
too long.
Yeah, it's way too long. In 1963, the US, USSR, and UK signed a nuclear test ban treaty, pretty important. In 1964, LBJ introduced the Gulf of Tonkin resolution to vastly escalate the war in Vietnam. Bad decision. In 2010, August 5th was the day that 33 Chilean miners got trapped in the mine for 69 days. You guys remember that?
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in 2019, something we actually covered on this show, August 5th, was the peak of the Hong Kong protests that occurred before the eventual total suffocation of the island by mainland China. So,
You know what's been going on as of late with public health and all that. Imagine trying to get people to adopt the first stoplight. Like, no, you stop on red. Okay, sure, I stop on
But
red.
I used to go on
I
nothing.
used to go.
Yeah.
It's probably hurt at first, but then when they saw that there was like no crashes compared to the 20 a week they had prior, they probably liked that.
Guarantee the first 1,000 stoplights in this country also had to be accompanied by a police officer explaining the stoplight.
Yeah. Growing
Yeah.
pains. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you got to have somebody in there. There's a guy whistling at everybody down. Real angry police officer. All right, let's move into the trending news. Number 4, the New York Times is mad at Mike Pompeo for probably stealing a bottle of whiskey, and Pat is going to tell us more about that later in the pod. Number 3, former President Barack Obama is going to scale back his 60th birthday to just, quote, family and close friends, after it got leaked that it was going to be a massive event this weekend in Martha's Vineyard. The leak came just at the same time as current President Biden, his former VP, extending COVID health measures beyond their constitutional limits, and New York City preparing to implement vaccine passports that will probably disproportionately affect minorities. So good call by Obama with the heat check on his own birthday party during the COVID ramping up. But I think it's because Obama saw my tweet where I just absolutely roasted him, and then he saw it. So the New York Post,
What do you mean you think? It's definitely because of that.
the New York Post said Obama expecting 700 to attend his 60th birthday party despite COVID, to which I said in Obama voice, now, we're all vaxxed and it's outside. Have you seen my latest playlist? That's probably how Obama was thinking.
Nice.
Hey, Will, where did
You
what's
practice that voice? That was pretty good.
Yeah, it's good.
it's no West, but it's
Was that
pretty
the hot
good.
tub? Was that hot tub practice?
Oh no, I always
You've always had
keep up
Obama
with it.
on
I don't
deck?
have a good Biden. I don't have. But that's the problem. I need to develop a Biden. That's
Just
the
stutter.
issue right
We
now.
need a Biden.
Just don't talk.
Will, what's up with the vaccine passports minority thing? I haven't heard anything about that.
Because minorities are less vaccinated overall.
Yeah.
So the vaccine passports are going to impact them more than white people overall.
No.
Yeah, Dr. Drew put out a tweet. We made that fake video talking about modern day segregation, but it's literally turning in to modern, and even Dr.
And the
Drew
mayor
is
of
calling
Boston's pissed.
it,
Yeah.
modern day segregation. It's
But the voting bill stuff's still happening in Georgia?
Well, I don't.
Yeah. I don't know.
Not sure how it's related. Number 2, Jeopardy. Mike Richards is going to be the new face of Jeopardy. Probably this guy. You don't know who he is. I don't know who he is. Yeah, he's already in advanced negotiations, according to Variety. And obviously, people on the internet are pretty upset it's not LeVar Burton. Here's one blue check. Danny Deraney. He says, everyone, we would love to have LeVar Burton host of Jeopardy. LeVar Burton, yes, please. Jeopardy, we will give the job to the guy who hosted Beauty and the Geek, Mike Richards. So,
Oh, Beauty and the Geek saw that. Okay.
on WB. Yeah.
What
that
happened
was-
to LeVar? Did he crack under the pressure?
Don't know. Everybody wants LeVar.
Apparently, his wife was shitting on him when he did his guest host. His wife was like, "That wasn't great, LeVar." And
Well, she's not. I guess she's not the only one.
I didn't see it. Did you guys see it?
No.
No, I haven't watched it.
I don't have time to watch Jeopardy. No.
Apparently, Aaron Rodgers is the best one. So
Did you
that's-
catch Jeopardy? Is that what you saw? No, I didn't catch Jeopardy.
And I think Jeopardy one of the game shows got taken off of Netflix recently with like no warning, and people are pissed.
Oh man, I used to watch Jeopardy on Netflix all the time.
Yeah, something happened. Watch out! Watch out! They're snatching your shit off the streaming. Okay, let's move it on to number one. Number one, we're on the last one. So Florida Governor Ron DeSantis gave a speech on Wednesday that had absolutely everybody buzzing. It trended big time because both Republicans and Democrats were all talking about it. And here is a condensed version of the speech, boys.
Single out Florida over COVID. This is a guy who ran for president saying he was going to, quote, shut down the virus. And what has he done? He's imported more virus from around the world by having a wide open southern border. One of the major medical people in his administration just recently told parents that they should be wearing masks at home when they're around their own children. And law-abiding citizens have to produce proof of their medical records just to go to the gym or attend an event or just to participate in everyday society. Joe Biden suggests that if you don't do lockdown policies, then you should, quote, get out of the way. But let me tell you this. If you're coming after the rights of parents in Florida, I'm standing in your way. I'm not going to let you get away with it. Why don't you do
Watch
your
the
job?
guys in the back.
Why don't you get this
looks
border
like
secure?
the Jeopardy
Until
guy.
you do that, I don't want to hear a blip about COVID from you.
blip.
Right?
Whoa! Look at these guys in the back. Look at these guys.
Whoa. I don't want to hear a blip about it.
Oh, they shook each other's hand. And
Oh,
they
my
dapped
God.
each other up.
Oh,
The
my
guys in
God.
the back were cracking me
I
up.
don't want to hear a blip about it.
Not a blip. Not a blip from you, Joe. But yeah, basically, Biden's coming at Florida. He's like, they have the highest, cases. He's like, we have low deaths compared to all the other places that lock down harder. So give me a break. And you have a shitty border. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
Florida on the
DeSantis is-
border?
no.
Yes,
But he's just
I mean,
criticizing.
Parts of it kind of are. But like,
No.
Well, because, yeah.
I'm
No,
busting his balls
Cuba,
because he's the
whatever.
governor of Florida.
Yeah,
He's
states
right.
in the-
State
I know, but-
politics.
But DeSantis is obviously like one of the front runners, if not the front runner for 2024. And there's already
Yeah.
flags everywhere that says DeSantis 24. And the slogan, do you guys know what the slogan is?
Wow, what is it?
It's
Make
Make
America great again.
America Florida.
Oh shit, that's actually pretty good.
Oh
That's
my
the-
god!
That's actually pretty good.
So
the
dumb,
slogan's,
it's good.
The slogan's Make America
Oh,
Florida. Yeah.
He's got a leg up. I gotta say.
That can't be the official.
No, that's the official.
Well,
That's
I've seen a lot of flags that say it, so I don't know. Maybe,
No, that's the
I don't know if
official,
they're custom made. I saw that
That's
in the
the
Jersey
official.
Shore. Yeah, I think it's the official.
That is intimidating.
Dumb
That
chess. It's so dumb. It's smart.
It was
man.
open the whole
No, that
time.
works.
So, yeah.
That works. He's taking you to the sunshine state in your mind. Now,
I don't want to hear a
taking you
blip about it, Pat.
Yeah. DeSantis is on the rise, and he was buzzing, and everybody was tweeting about him. I'm just going to give you 2 examples. Here's what people on the left were saying. Scott Dworkin tweets, "Who else agrees that Ron DeSantis is the worst governor in America?" So pretty
Dworkin
typical.
said that. Okay.
Dworkin. And then Caitlin, political fashion police, says the libs are just fucking terrified of Ron DeSantis, aren't they? And
Probably
with a-
yes.
with a slogan like "Make America Florida."
Not for the reason she's talking about, but yes.
He's got an
They're
army behind
terrified of
him.
him for another reason. Yeah. Because
right,
of the
well,
Florida thing. Yeah.
That's today's cup of coffee in the big time.
Nice. I mean, that's what you're seeing. All these, all the new people running. They're taking the playbook right out of Trump because it's successful on that side.
I mean, I'm all about protecting the civil liberty, right? Like, you don't want a slippery slope. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be careful to give an inch in terms of like, certain things. But do you guys see it as like a truly, or is it just like an acute thing?
Yeah, well,
I
I think that people are really concerned now, especially with the pandemic supposing to be over, and things are continually getting extended. Like government powers and overreach are being exercised, and
COVID is probably the most important thing, right? But it also it branches out to other things like small businesses versus schooling and people having family members that have died there's all sorts of factors related to COVID, but COVID itself is the main thing right now, and it has been for a while, right? So there's one guy that's extreme on one side, one guy that might be extreme on the other side that's going to rile up some people for sure.
Well, and they're both trying to, DeSantis is trying to take the reins here and basically fight the incoming, restrictions and whatever that the other side wants to impose.
Exactly.
And so like he's trying to position himself as the face, the guy who's fighting that.
Of that.
And whatever.
Exactly.
it's an easy political power
that's what
grab.
make Florida. That's what the Make America Florida thing means, because Florida stayed open. That's what they're saying for that.
Yeah.
Right.
It's freedom versus socialism when it is what it boils down to. That's what that's the platform they're trying to run on. It's
that's what
this
the
side
one
is
side's
socialist,
trying to
this
run
side
on.
is freedom. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't think the left is trying to run on socialism.
No, of course not. Of course
DeSantis
not.
is saying that your government, your left government's overreaching so much it's becoming socialism, communism, whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes. All right, well, let's move on. Got a little history quiz for you guys. Do you know what happened April 14th, 1912?
1912.
Would the White House burn down? Maybe.
Amelia Earhart crashed again.
No.
Oh, 1912. No, not 1812.
Something with
War
cars
One
or like
happening soon.
or the Lusitania, a ship. Oh, the Titanic.
There you go.
Damn.
It's right behind me. There you go. The Titanic hit a fucking iceberg in the Atlantic with 2,224 people on board. And then on April 15th, a couple hours later, 1912, it sank and 1,514 people died. Most of them, second class, poor people, crew, a lot of men. Just a disaster of epic proportions, especially since they said that bitch was pretty much unsinkable, right?
Yeah.
No, they didn't.
They said it wasn't. Well, they also said Molly Brown was. Can you do that again in case anyone wasn't paying attention? Like they're like fiddling around in their car or something like that. Ask that question again. Do you know what happened?
What question again?
Do you know what happened on that date?
Do you guys know what happened April 14th, 1912?
The Titanic sank.
There you go. Mark got it. It's right behind me.
There's only like 3 people that think I'm smart on that.
Nailed it, Mark. I'm glad we detoured for that.
Yeah, that was good. So, also a fun fact, according to Wikipedia, the parlor suites, the most expensive and most luxurious suites on that ship with the private promenade, cost $4,350, which is equivalent to $117,000 today. So you're talking about the rich of the rich were on that fucking death trap on the way to New York City.
That cruise, though, recently, that like the luxury high-end cruise was somewhere around 6 figures for a ticket for like a year, essentially.
Right. Yeah, for a year.
Recently, like post-COVID, no way. Because
post-COVID.
What? Somebody would pay that much to go on a cruise right now?
For a year. And it's obviously top of the line. But anyway.
Well, technically, it's the rest of your life because you're on the ship. So with the COVID.
Yeah, you're never going to get off because then somebody's going to get COVID and you're going to get stuck on the fucking boat.
There are people that live on cruise
nights
ships
for $73K.
Damn,
it's pretty sweet.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would be
anyway,
awesome.
There are people that do that right now. They just live on cruise ships their whole lives.
Retirees
Anyway,
too. Yeah.
fast forward to present day Monday in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, where a Titanic Museum was erected to, and people are still feeling the curse of this horribly built ship with an equally horribly built museum, specifically a giant replica iceberg. So here's a picture of the museum. That's the Titanic. There you go. There's the little iceberg on the outside. They got a giant iceberg replica made of real ice that is featured in the museum, which on Monday fucking collapsed and sent 3 museum goers to the hospital. Yeah.
Come on.
So,
The fridge stopped working because it's made of ice. And
yeah. So here I'm going to play a little video for you so you can see. And Mark, this is the replica of the unsinkable Molly Brown here.
I understand that there's a lot of interactive things as well as the artifacts. Can you tell me a little bit more about the interactive part?
Well, everyone's favorite is a promenade deck. You walk out and there's an iceberg. It draws moisture from the air and grows, so you're able to touch that. And then stick your hand over the handrail and we have 28 degrees salt water. So you can imagine what it was like to plunge into that water on the night the Titanic went down.
Yeah, minus the screaming and the clubbing of poor people when they tried to get on the boats.
The drowning of children.
The cold knows no class. The 28-degree water thing is cool. I also want to point out that because this is a warm-up attraction for Dollywood, which I've been to all of them, and I'm glad that there's a new one, I guess, but now there's not. Like I've been to the goddamn Harry Potter attraction like 6 times.
Were you able to ride the ride? Is that the one where the fat person wasn't allowed to ride the ride? The Harry
It's not
Potter
even a
one?
fucking ride. It's a broom in front of a green screen. It's not a ride.
No, there's a recent one where there's a ride and the fat people were getting kicked off.
Essentially, as you're going up to Dollywood, there's just like a bunch of tourist shit.
Right.
For people that are tired of Dollywood or on the in or the out. But
yeah, this opened in 2010. What were you gonna say?
How are they cooling the iceberg? What?
It's cooled by I guess they have a air system that keeps it cooled on the inside. I don't know. They just keep it frozen, but it fucking collapsed. Yeah, and it landed.
Like a hope and a prayer is how they were cooling it. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So Mary Kellogg Jocelyn and her husband John run this death trap and took to social media to explain the situation, saying, "Tonight, an accident occurred at our Titanic Museum attraction in Pigeon Forge. Our iceberg wall collapsed and injured 3 guests who were taken to the hospital. At this time, we do not know the extent of the injuries. Our thoughts and prayers are those with who were injured, as well as the families and friends." So they also started sounding a lot like the original ship's builders, talking to the media when that happened. They said, quote, "Needless to say, we never would have expected an incident like this to occur, as the safety of our guests and crew members are always top of mind." So they probably just were like, what did they say back in the day? All right, let's just say that. Apparently the big draw, is this now temporarily closed insurance nightmare was the real ice wall, like I just showed you. And I guess getting clubbed on the top of your head by the iceberg is the closest thing, than going to a hospital in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee is as close as you can get as the real thing.
For press, could this have been to get press for the Titanic Museum?
Anything's possible, but I don't know. I mean, it looks like it's pretty successful. I mean, it's there's videos on there. They've got a giant indoor thing you can go. They've got 400 artifacts from the actual Titanic that you can check out. It's like a legit museum, but now this ice wall just collapsed on people's heads. So
did they die?
Now, so no, they don't. I don't think they died. I don't think it's that big, but they definitely are. Going to get free tickets to life. Probably a ticket to Dollywood.
There's just there was a lack of explanation from the Molly Brown impersonator and you, and obviously the article about how they were cooling this gigantic iceberg.
Well, is that really what you want to know the most?
Pat, I guarantee you.
Wow,
I guarantee you.
Bugging you about how
this
they
is
cooled
what
this
happened.
Piece of ice.
This is what happened. All the ice.
Give me the science.
Do my work.
The cooling of the iceberg is the proverbial iceberg in this situation.
Probably with some fucking refrigeration. Jesus, I don't know.
I can guarantee you what happened here.
That's a big HVAC guy.
Right. No, what happened here?
How many BTUs?
How'd they do it?
Right. This is what happened.
How do they normally cool ice?
With a fridge. There was a freezer. There was a freezer of some sort, and then some
August.
guy. Yeah. This ice fell on people, and then some guy in a giant overalls comes in. He's like,
of a story. I have no idea how they cooled the ice.
He's you got some Freon. You got a Freon problem.
Well, think about it, dude. They got a fucking 28-degree pool to dip your hand into. That's as cold as a fucking walk-in cooler would be to cool the iceberg.
Okay, so
the hand pool wouldn't do much good if the whole room was 28 degrees. So how do they do it?
Right, with
I don't know.
with motors.
I don't know.
that-
But
that
you better
come back
have
to you
every
tomorrow.
you better have every goddamn detail in your story later. Let me
Yeah.
tell you that.
Pat, who did the story, we both were supposed to do the geese story. Pat had the wrong country and the wrong name of the thing.
Oh yeah. There you go.
He called New Zealand Netherlands. He said it was
Mhm.
New Zealand, and then he said it was
Other
whiffing
way
instead of
around.
whiffling. Pat's very detail oriented. All right,
Yeah.
TikTok international moment.
we
Coming
need
up.
to know
Thanks,
what
Mark.
froze the ice.
Yeah,
though.
I got your back.
Thanks, buddy.
TikTok international moments coming up. We're gonna go to some countries that I'm sure I know that they're the right countries on. First up, let's do an Olympic story. Got an Olympic story for you. So let's head over to Tokyo, where the equestrian riders have a complaint about the individual jump course. So it's not a team equestrian event, it's individual jumps. There's 14 jumps or obstacles on the course, and most are decorated. In like Japanese style because they're in Tokyo. It was the decoration at jump 10 that most were upset about, as right beside like the bars on jump 10, hunched over in an attack position, is a giant sumo wrestler.
Huh.
So the problem with that is it's a statue of a giant sumo wrestler. The problem with that is let's just hear from some of the equestrian people. As you come around, you see a big guy's butt, British writer Harry Charles said. It's very realistic, said Israel's Teddy Vlock. It does look like a person, and that's a little spooky, you know. Horses don't want to see a guy like who looks intense next to a jump looking like he's ready to fight you. So it was so realistic, in fact, that 5 horses pulled up short of the jump and just didn't even attempt it in the qualifying, ruining their chances of advancing to the finals, including the rider from France, Penelope Leprevost, who won a gold medal in 2016. So her horse was like, fuck no, not jumping over near the sumo wrestler. So that was obviously poor planning by course designers, but things went from bad to worse the next day when they replaced the sumo wrestler with a tent.
Oh no. They didn't really do that. That's a real picture.
No, it's a joke because you kill horses. You kill horses in a tent. That was a joke.
Yeah.
That was a joke. So I'll do that again.
They put
with
him
another
down.
one.
They
So
put
that-
him down.
I got another one. So that was poor planning by course designers, but it went from bad to worse the next day when they replaced the sumo wrestler with a hunter.
A horse
There's a
hunter.
guy holding the shotgun.
Yeah,
and
horse
it's a
hunter, you know, classic horse hunters, the shotgun.
Those
Oh,
Mustang
man.
hunters.
A
A
glue
horny
maker.
stable
was
hand might be the only thing that you could beat it with.
Right? It was bad. It sucks.
A
'cause
guy, a guy with some lube.
Yeah, creepy stable
yeah.
hand.
Yeah, that guy but those miniature horses. All right,
Yeah.
moving on. 30-year-old Estonian swimmer Merle Levand decided to really cut loose on her 30th birthday. For her 30th birthday, she swam 18.6 miles, setting a Guinness World Record. I blacked out on my 30th birthday. It was also an all-day long event, though. You know, There's Merle smiling and not looking tired after swimming 18.6 miles and setting a world record. Merle, the show-off, broke her own previous record of 12.8 miles by 6 miles on her 30th birthday. Really cool. She took off from Miami, Florida, where the water is a little warmer this time of year than it is in Estonia, which is on the other side of the Baltic Sea from Finland. So, yeah, good call. Not swimming in the freezing temperatures there. Merle used a monofin, which is this thing. Merle used a monofin for the swim, which is a flipper you put on both feet in, resembling a mermaid's tail. And she said the swim was,
It is.
I mean, obviously,
cheating.
she said the swim was to bring awareness to pollution on the beach, and not because she was looking for a long lost connection with the love of her life, a human man that fell into the ocean when he was 8, an 8-year-old boy, which caused her to rescue him, returning him to land. And now 20 years later, neither of them had been able to make a strong connection, but fate would bring them back together to meet again as adults, striking up an unlikely mermaid-man relationship that society wouldn't understand, and they will have to narrowly escape U.S. troops and scientists that want to experiment on her mermaid body so that they can live happily ever after in an underwater kingdom. Clearly, she's got a thing for the movie Splash.
Flash.
Daryl Hannah. Yeah. So do I.
If you didn't get it from the synopsis, you could tell by her Daryl Hannah tattoo and a restraining order from Tom Hanks. How about you chill out on your birthday, Merle? You're making us all look bad, huh? Oh, do I look sexy? Like a sexy little mermaid that swam 18.6 miles for Florida beachgoers? I didn't notice. I'm just trying to bring awareness to pollution or whales or whatever. Yeah, fuck off.
How
Merle.
long did that take her?
9 hours, something like that.
Oh.
Half day. Yeah. I'm surprised a shark didn't get her. Like, there's all sorts of sharks in the Miami area, but especially for a mermaid, sharks would love mermaids. Anyways, remember the Olympic athlete, the track and field lady that defected from Belarus to Poland recently? Covered. Yeah. Well, evidently it's happening again. Former Belarus Olympian Yana Maximova. Let's get a picture up of her. Yana Maximova, who currently lives in Germany, said she will not return to Belarus for fear that the authoritarian regime will kill her if she returns. Yana Maximova, am I right? Good-looking girl. Don't kill her, please. Yana made the announcement on her Instagram, which Hard Factor is now following.
She ain't
You hear
going
that?
back.
Yana made the announcement on her Instagram, which
it's
Hard
true.
Factor is now following.
Check us out, Yana. Hey, it's true. These Belarusian girls that are defecting are lookers. That's
Yeah,
a fact.
I mean,
Well, they're
That's-
thin.
this-
That's for sure.
No, they're both like beauties. Like
you're right, Pat. They don't get a
Yep.
lot of food there. He's right, though. He's right. And look, I say good for her. Don't pull an Alexei Navalny. Stay as far away from Belarus as you can. And I say this because the chief of a non-governmental organization that helps people flee Belarus, 26-year-old Vitaly Shisov, was found murdered and hung to death in the Ukrainian capital of Kiev in a park. So
wow.
Oh, that's a statement.
this week. Yeah. Shizov was reportedly missing by friends a day before his body was found, and he had been telling people that strangers had been following him on morning jogs. So stay safe, all Belarusian defectors and refugees, as they can get you anywhere, apparently, it sounds like. And leave Yana alone, please.
Please.
Yeah, leave her alone.
Leave her alone.
Please.
Yeah.
You're telling me Lukashenko gets a little upset with the defectors and the shit
Yeah.
talkers?
And he's sending people to kill him in Ukraine. I guess Ukraine, Poland, and Lithuania are like the popular places to go if you're trying to leave Belarus. But they got people in Ukraine too, so careful. Change your name.
It's tough though, because he's like a little Putin, and Putin, his tentacles are deep up in the Ukrainians'
They are.
guts.
Yeah, maybe go to Poland. Sounds like that's safer.
Yeah, so
Or-
deep, isn't he? Like
or
basically
Yana,
invading?
Austin,
Yeah.
Texas might be a safe spot.
He literally,
yeah.
pretty much.
He annex Crimea or whatever.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah, he's slowly taking over Ukraine.
South Austin's great. Yeah.
All right, guys. Let's talk about whiskey. A nice and thoughtful gift, right, can get you an awful long way in the diplomacy department, which is not a concept that was lost on our founding fathers. They were so concerned, in fact, that U.S. leaders might be swayed in a certain direction or another by a barrel of mead and half a hog that they put it in the Constitution, Article 1, Section 9, Paragraph 8, also known as the Foreign Emoluments Clause, which prevents foreign leaders from giving U.S. officials gifts. Can't do it. They knew it was an issue back then.
No, you can give their family jobs on any board that pays them any billion amount of dollars. But yes, you can't technically give them a gift straight to their hand.
Yep, that's just the only instance, the one instance.
Pets too. You can give them pets, right?
Well, if the pet is below $390 or $415, depending on what you're reading, that's the official
Can't name
law of the
pet
land.
whiskey though. Can't name the pet whiskey. That's a
No,
rule.
you can't. You can't. But yeah, the official law of the land, guys, is that American officials can keep gifts that are now less than $390 or $415. But if the officials want to keep the gifts that are over that price, they have to purchase them from the State Department. So on Wednesday, the U.S. State Department dropped their 2019 list of high-value gifts from foreign governments, and it reads like the Monopoly Man's estate sale, which, by the way, should be happening anytime now. He was like 70 in 1940 when we met him, so keep an eye out for that estate sale. But yeah, there are 4 columns in this 92-page document, which indicate in the first column, who the gift was to, the gift date and the date of acceptance, the estimated value, the current disposition or location, who the gift was from, and the reason that the gift was accepted, right? Which pretty much on all of them, the acceptance was non-acceptance would cause embarrassment to the donor and the U.S. government, right?
Right. And then but then you can't take it unless you buy it, like you were saying.
That's an easy explanation. That's better than we're in cahoots, you know.
Right. Or you can give it away, which is like what most folks do in the government, right? So the list was mostly gifts to Trump, some to his underling, the Christian guy. What's his name? Escaping me. Pence. Some to the Kushners, etc.
Christian guy, I love it.
Pretty much all of them were given
underling
away.
the vice president.
I mean, come on. Anyway, the list was mostly gifts to Trump. It was stuff like a ceramic dragon head from the president of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam. I want to look into that. That was $1,590. A Brazilian hardwood bench carved to resemble a jaguar from Jair Bolsonaro. It's pretty cool. $1,100. A brown leather-bound book of Hebrew songs from Netanyahu for $500. A painting of Donald Trump himself to Donald Trump himself on a dual-pane glass surface from also from Vietnam. That was $5,250.
That was a smart gift.
Yeah, smart gift, right?
That some favors.
Bold gift, but it's on the double pane glass. It sounds sick. Like if you're going to give someone a painting themselves, it's got to be good. So they probably hire their best guy.
Well, that's
if
true.
There's a guy, if there's a guy who wants a portrait of himself, it's Donald
Dude,
Trump.
you know, I know, and you know, Vietnam's got some skilled people. I bet it's
that's the key to his heart. Is that a picture of me? Like, I mean, he's just going to.
What is that?
Immediately take
double pane glass.
He threw Netanyahu's gift in the fireplace.
Give Vietnam
the leather-bound book of Hebrew songs. I hope not.
No, he did.
It says he gave it to the National Archives. Also on the list, guys, were gifts to the Kushners, the Christian guy, and former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, who has been the subject of a ton of scrutiny over the last 24 hours, because on the list was a bottle of Japanese whiskey valued at $5,800 from the government of Japan. And we're almost all gifts on the list indicate that the receiver had transferred them to the National Archives, as I said, or some other government agency. For Pompeo's whiskey,
when you said give it away, you meant they can give it away to the government.
Exactly, right? Or pay the government for it if they really want it.
That's so whack. But
right. But they get creative with like who they give it to. Like the National Archives makes the most sense.
Where do they keep all these gifts? The government, like in
a fucking warehouse somewhere.
Yeah, well, it's bullshit.
Dude, it's like fucking most museums don't even know what they have, and I'm sure the National Archives is the same. Like
it's gotta
the
be
Met,
huge though. It's gonna be big.
The Met can't evaluate what their collection is because they're only showing like 8% of their collection at a time. They don't even know what the fuck they have. They just throw shit that we'll never get that we could sell into a warehouse that we'll never see. Pompeo's whiskey was described as disposition unknown, right? So where's the whiskey, Mike? Pompeo, through his lawyer, William A. Bruck, said that he had no recollection of receiving the bottle of whiskey, and he did not have any knowledge of what happened to it or that there was a department inquiry into its whereabouts, saying, quote, he has no idea what the disposition was of the bottle of the whiskey. Pretty convenient, Mike. You know what else makes you have no recollection? A bottle of Japanese whiskey.
Yeah.
Right?
Why is my face red? I was in the sun.
Mike Pompeo looks like he enjoys a bottle of whiskey from time to time.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that who did this investigative deep dive and really,
you're
shined
so
the light
wrong
on
about that, Will, and I'm going to get to it. That's your bias against the New York Times. It was the State Department that did it, but I'm going to get into that. The New York Times is on Pompeo's side and how ridiculous this is actually.
Okay, good.
On the day in question, which the whiskey was allegedly received, June 24th, 2019, Mike was traveling in Saudi Arabia, right? Well, it's a very dry desert nation that has a total ban on alcohol. And it sounds to me that, getting a call from a staffer back home telling you that a bottle of amazing high-end Japanese whiskey just came in while you're juggling geopolitics in the 120-degree heat with the nearest cocktail 1,000 miles away might make it a pretty tempting time to tell the staffer to maybe just stash that bottle of whiskey under the office couch. I don't know. These are just theories. But Pompeo...
Fly it the fuck over there.
Right, exactly. Pompeo doesn't know where the fuck it is. So the New York Times, which Will is shitting on for some reason, pointed out that this is the first time in 20 years of this report that they have ever indicated whereabouts unknown of anything. So Mike Pompeo pissed someone off at the State Department pretty heartily. So the State Department
heartily that they ran it as a front page story in the New York Times.
A bottle of whiskey.
But they're for him.
I mean,
one
it's
bottle
true.
of whiskey.
Over a bottle of whiskey.
Well, is the bigger issue the New York Times story the fact that the State Department is doing something they haven't done for 20 years?
I think it's a bunch of people whining about nothing.
Yeah, it is nothing. What was the brand of whiskey?
No, it doesn't say. High-end Japanese whiskey. Whiskey apparently.
That's an expensive bottle of whiskey. I would like to.
You know what? We think he took the whiskey, and we're pretty sure he enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And you know what? Well, we got it in the fucking database. So
Front page it.
Whereabouts unknown.
Run it. Run it.
Run it.
Take that, Pompeo.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bottle of whiskey at the end of the day, right?
It's a bottle of whiskey.
Right.
At the end of the day, it's a bottle.
It's
of
very insulting not to accept things from the Japanese. We all know that.
Yeah.
Well, guys, a little bit of backstory why I think this is happening. Pompeo, if you remember, under the direction of Donald Trump, fired someone who was looking into him improperly using White House staff that were a violation of government regulations, like walking his dog, running errands for his wife, which a lot of ethics professors and the like were like, that's fucked up. You can't do that. I think this is retribution for him, like bending the rules.
Oh, but the people who are trying to retribute are making themselves look like morons because this is the dumbest retribution of all time.
This is nowhere near as bad as like politicians on both sides, like, you know, buying couches on the government dime and taking private jets,
gold-plated toilets and all that shit.
Like this is a gift.
He pocketed a gift that was given
as opposed to spending funds. Yeah. It was a gift.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different. I get there's rules, but come on.
They don't know that he took the gift, honestly.
They don't even know that he took it. Yeah.
More than likely,
he did.
The staffers had a great time that evening. Let's be honest, right? Like more than
if he was in Saudi Arabia, he might have called in and said, "Drink it." Yeah.
Exactly. So a couple of side notes here. As I said, the first time the State Department has mentioned any items whereabouts unknown in 20 years of the report, $5,800, right? Pricey for sure. But Pompeo actually got the cheap stuff because former Trump aide Matthew Pottinger got an $8,300 bottle of Japanese whiskey from the government of Japan. So they gave Pompeo a small bottle.
I never knew Japan was rocking this sweet ass whiskey.
Yeah, they're up and coming, but that's all like prestige pricing.
They've been around for a long time. I guess in the 80s it dipped, and then it's hype stuff, right? It's like Pappy Van Winkle stuff, right? And then finally Australia, right? Australia the shit out of their gift, hard. So they pretty much everything on this list was like something that's priceless, right? Effectively, or they put a price on it, but nice as shit, nicer than you and I will ever have. The government of Australia gave President Donald Trump a framed photograph of President Donald Trump, estimated value $470.
That's exactly what and
it cute.
Britain did to Biden with the Frederick Douglass thing.
Yeah, what they gave to Biden, Boris Johnson.
Boris Johnson did that to Biden. With
also that also came with spider eggs.
Exactly.
Gift.
A lot of people did give photos of themselves autographed, which is also a fucking weird ass move, right? I'm gonna send him.
That's awesome.
Autographed 8x10 of myself.
That's a power move.
He'll enjoy that.
If you send somebody an autograph of yourself and like a headshot, that's pretty. You're saying something there. You're like,
like thanks for writing to my fan club.
Yeah, basically.
Anyway, that's the story. We'll keep you updated on what happens with Pompeo. His staffers got drunk. Honestly,
nothing's gonna happen. Nothing's gonna happen. Yeah.
In fact, like if this was retribution for anything, that totally backfired because this just makes Mike Pompeo cooler to most people. Probably. Oh, he took a bottle of whiskey.
Some say that Pompeo's eyeing a presidential run in 24.
Oh, really? Him versus DeSantis. Oh, watch out.
Yeah.
Sparks flying.
Anyway, that's going to do it for
Make America whiskey again.
Make America drunk again.
Drunk again, yeah.
That's going to do it for Hard Factor. Thank you guys so much for listening. It was a fun show. Closing notes, anything of importance. Today
check out the
first Friday, so enjoy that. Check out the green room.
Oh, yeah.
Summer. Mm-hmm.
First Friday's today. Second Friday's Friday. Well, you Stab Nelson came out yesterday, right?
Yep,
Yes.
Stab Nelson.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. If you want to see me trolling a group of really out there folks from Portland on a Zoom call for I cut it down to like 10 minutes, but
It's good. It's solid.
You can sign up for our Patreon. That's patreon.com/hardfactor. 3 tiers.
It's the beginning of the month, so it's the best time to get in. You get Stab Nelson, you get our weekly Florida Man Friday show. You get for the smallest tier. Then if you go to the second tier, you get our weekly Florida Man Friday show. Plus, you get our weekly Hive Hour show. The top tier, you get all of that plus Friday happy hours and trivia and the Discord. And the best time of the month is the beginning of the month again. And you also get all of the back shows. So you'll get every Florida Man Friday we've done the entire year. If you sign up,
Quite a collection.
Patreon.com/hardfactor. It's a steal. There's fuckload of content on there, and it helps us out.
Also, what's dropping tomorrow? On Patreon.com/hardfactor.
Is it coming out tomorrow? Or is it coming out this weekend? The half pack, half a pack.
By the end of the week. Yeah, I'm aiming for Friday. Yeah.
Okay.
Which means by Sunday, probably.
No, Friday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Solid episode.
I've got a wedding on Saturday, so I can't do it.
Half a pack with Wes. So that's going to do it for Hard Factor. Have a great fucking day.
Hard Factor. Cheat on the news.